Important module, guys. SpringMVC. Now listen. To develop Java, Servlet JSP is the prerequisite. Without having knowledge of Servlet JSP, you cannot understand this module, guys. How many of you are having Servlet JSP knowledge? Please ping yes in the chat box. If you don't have knowledge of Servlet JSP, please ping. Develop Java web application using MVC architecture. MVC architecture. Now listen. The best architecture to develop Java web application is MVC. The best architecture to develop the Java web applications as the layered applications is MVC. MVC is nothing but model view controller. Model view controller. There's another point, guys. Layered application means keeping different logics in different layers. Keeping different logics in different layers. Different layers, nothing but bunch of classes together. Bunch of classes. Bunch of classes and files together. Having same logics and making them communicating with each other. Making them communicating with each other. Clear, guys? Yeah. Layered application is like 3 BHK flat boss. A layered application is like 3 BHK or 4 BHK flat. Layered application is like 3 BHK or 4 BHK flat, my dear. It is like a 3 BHK or 4 BHK flat. Super. See, we develop Java web application using MVC architecture. M for model layer represents business logic plus persistence logic for plus application data. Plus application data, boss. Represents business logic plus persistence logic plus application data. It is like accounts officer. Super. V for view layer, guys. Represents presentation logic. It is like beautician. C for controller layer. Represent integration logic, monitoring logic. It is like supervisor. And it controls all operations in all layers, boss. Controls all operations in all layers. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Represents all layers in all logics. MVC architecture says use different technologies to develop different logics in different layers of the web application and make them communicating with each other. and make them communicating with each other. Are you understanding my statement, guys? And make them communicating with each other. Simply make them communicating with each other. Are you understanding my statement, boss? Super. Now listen, we can develop MVC architecture web application in Java or in Java, either using Java technology or Java frameworks. Either using Java technologies or Java frameworks. Getting my point, guys? Java web technologies are like Servlet, JSP, and etc. Java web frameworks are like what? Struts, JSF, SpringMVC, TapStrace, Spring Boot MVC, and etc. Spring Boot MVC is the extension of SpringMVC. Array. MVC can be implemented using technologies or using framework. Array. Four-wheeler. Four-wheeler is the concept, one architecture. Vehicle architecture. Array. Hyundai company, Maruti Suzuki company will manufacture that architecture at affordable price. By Benz, Audi, Volvo, Bentley. These people also will manufacture same four-wheeler, guys, by using some costly architecture or not. By definitely using some costly architecture or not. Come on, boss. At affordable prices, high-end prices or not, boss. Limitations are using Servlet JSP technologies. All the logics of all layers, view layer, controller layer, model layer, service behavior, should be developed by the programmers manually. And if I use Servlet JSP technologies to develop the MVC architecture project, what are the limitations we are having? All the logics of all layers developed by programmers manually. This improves burden of the programmers. Next, guys, we need to remember and implement MVC rules, which is quite difficult for the programmers. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Which is quite difficult for the programmers. We need to remember and implement MVC rules manually, which is quite difficult for the programmers. What do you say, guys? Is it possible or not possible? Super, guys. Next, we need to take care of navigation logics. Nothing but flow of execution among the components manually. Which is again quite complex to perform. Which is again quite difficult to perform. Are you listening my statement, guys? Are you understanding my statement? Navigation logic means communication logics, Rababu. I given clearly components. We need to take care of navigation logic manually. Flow of execution among the component. How model component should talk with view component. How view component should talk with controller. How controller should talk with model. These things, guys. These things I'm talking about. Tell me, guys, takes more time to develop and release the project. It takes more time to develop and release the projects, boss. Are you understanding my statement, guys? So these are the various problems that we are having if we develop the MVC architecture web application manually by using Servlet JSP technologies. Manually by literally solidly using Servlet JSP technologies. Got it, boss? Are you understanding my statement, boss? Come on. Everything we should take care. I'm not saying we cannot develop layered application. Every logic of every layer we should take care. We should implement the rules and guidelines manually. Okay. It's something like this, guys. We don't have company, but I want to manufacture a car. It takes a lot of burden now, boss. Everything I should take care. Everything I should develop from scratch level. It's going to be complex. I cannot say not possible. Definitely possible. I definitely don't say not possible, definitely possible, but it is definitely going to be a tough and complex process or not. It is definitely going to be tough and complex process or not. Say something, my dear guys. Super boss. Next, to overcome all these problems, develop MVC architecture web application by using MVC frameworks. And they give following advantages. They give following advantages. Right now, boss? Every MVC framework gives built-in servlet as controller servlet. Nothing but front controller servlet. Taking care of navigation management. This reduces burden on the program. Controller servlet you need not to develop if you go for MVC framework. We will get ready-made servlet acting as a MVC framework. We will get ready-made servlet acting as a MVC framework. Are you understanding? Action servlet struts. Faces servlet JSF. Dispatcher servlet, SpringMVC or Spring Boot MVC. Got it? Dispatcher servlet, SpringMVC or Spring Boot MVC. Yeah, here is my. Yeah, in different frameworks, different ready-made servlets are there as front controller servlets or not. That means maximum times controller point is ready-made one. You need not to develop the controller point from the scratch level. We have a ready-made controller. We need to write only view and model layer logics and no need of writing controller layer logics. This reduces burden on the program. Code flow, it will take care. Only view and model layer logics only we need to write. No need of writing view layer logic. Definitely burden on the programmer will be reduced or not. Car manufacturing on your own without having company support. So complex because everything you should do on your own, though you are very talented. It's something like this, Babu. In your engineering final semester, some mechanical background students, electrical background students might have developed some cars. Guys. It takes a lot of time now, boss. Corona batch, I think you have not developed anything. I know that. I'm talking about remaining things, Babu. I'm talking about remaining people. I'm talking about remaining people, Babu. Suppose you have a company support. Lot of machinery is there, lot of policies are there, lot of engineers are there. Their car manufacturing takes a lot of time or less time. Their car manufacturing takes a lot of time or less time. Super guys. creating car on our own, without any support from company. Is like developing MVC architecture, web application, okay, using Java JWE technologies. Next boss. Next. Creating car on our own. God, it's not on our own. In the company, in the car manufacturing company. Manufacturing company is like developing MVC architecture web applications using Java frameworks or MVC frameworks like struts, SpringMVC, Spring Boot MVC. Come on, guys. Spring Boot MVC. Okay, JSF and Excel. Super. We need to write only view, model layer logics and no need of writing what? Controller layer logics. This reduces burden on the program. Since the front controller is ready-made, servlet component, the MVC rules will be implemented automatically. This again reduces the burden on the program. Ready-made servlet na boss. Okay, navigation rules also will be implemented internally or not? The navigation rules also will be implemented internally and automatically. What do you say, guys? So that burden will be reduced or not? Because the front controller servlet will take care of navigation flow. Since it take care of navigation flow, MVC rules and guidelines will be implemented automatically. So definitely it reduces the burden on the programmer. Convinced, my dear? Got the clarity, boss? Next, guys. Takes less time to develop the application, gives good productivities. Okay, good productivity. Easy to develop the applications. What application? MVC architecture based web application. MVC architecture based web applications. Next, internally uses servlet and other technologies, but provides abstraction to the programmer. Every framework internally uses servlet JSP technologies, but it provides abstraction to the programmer. That means, okay, hides the internal implementation details. Hides the internal implementation details from the programs. Hides the internal implementation details from the programmers. Super. It is industry standard to use frameworks to develop the web application. It is industry standard to use frameworks in the development of web applications. In the development of web applications. Got it? Entire industry is preferring what, guys? Entire industry is preferring frameworks only. Hey, not only in Java domain, Babu. Not only in Java domain. Every domain, everywhere frameworks are happening. Instead of using JavaScript directly, they are preferring to use JavaScript frameworks like Angular, React, JS kind of thing. Instead of using .NET directly, ASP.NET directly, they are preferring to use ASP.NET MVC, again framework. Instead of using PHP directly, they are preferring to use what? PHP frameworks like what? Drupal, what is that? Drupal, what is the PHP frameworks? WordPress, lot of tools are there was in PHP environment. Different Java MVC frameworks, guys. Starts from Apache, JSF from Sun Microsystem. Now it is with the Oracle Corporation. SpringMVC, Spring Boot MVC from what? Interface 21. Tapestry from Adobe Company. WebWork from Open Symphony Company, and etc. Right? As on today, market leader is what? SpringMVC or Spring Boot MVC, guys. Another market leader is JSF. Another market leader is JSF. Come on, guys, convinced or not? Pivotal is the team name. Not only in Java environment. Not only in Java environment. In other technology domain also, the industry prefers using in other technology domain also, the industry prefers using frameworks, the development of the web applications. In the development of the web application, guys. Tell me. Okay. ASP.NET MVC is the .NET framework to develop the web applications. Okay. Drupal, WordPress, and etc. are the PHP frameworks. PHP frameworks to develop the web applications. Develop the web application. Understanding my statement, guys? And etc. are the PHP frameworks to develop the web applications. Everyone getting my point, guys? Come on. Next, what is there? Next, Angular, React to JS, and etc. are the tell me, JavaScript framework. JavaScript frameworks. Okay. Next. Actually, Django, D silent was. Django, D silent. Django. Django is the Python framework. Django is the Python framework. Can I give one small conclusion, guys? If the Java web application is small, nice boss. Right, boss? Tell me. MVC application, MVC web application is using Servlet JSP technologies like house construction by arranging labor material. Here we need to take care of both common logics and application specific logics. Servlet JSP based MVC web application is like house construction from the scratch level. MVC web application using MVC frameworks is like house purchase from reputed builder or real estate company. Here, builder or real estate company. Here, builder or real estate company takes care of common logics and makes the developer or programmer to take care of only application specific logics. Only application specific logic, boss. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Only application specific logics, guys. Only application specific logics. Only application specific logics, boss. Right, boss. All MVC frameworks are designed around front controller servlet. That means all operations in MVC framework application takes place with respect to front controller servlet. Array. Okay, first stick to this point. Using Servlet JSP or developing website. If you are developing website, everything you should take care. It's like a house construction on your own from the scratch level. You only arrange labor, you only attend material, you only arrange everything and complete the development of the website. Okay. House construction with the support of builder or real estate company is like framework. Anything common builder will take care. Any only specific activities you will take care. Like interior designing, vastu, colors, gardening, only these aspects you will take care. Only these aspects we will take care. All right. Why small applications need Servlet JSP? MVC frameworks comes with a lot of ready-made code. Lot of ready-made components. If website is very small, this ready-made code improves the size of the application, burden on the application. It's something like this, guys. You are going to office every day alone. Four-wheeler is better, a mini bus is better. You can go in mini bus. You can go in mini bus, no doubt in that. But is it really required? Four-wheeler or two-wheeler is sufficient or not? Four-wheeler or two-wheeler is sufficient or not? Four-wheeler or two-wheeler is more than sufficient, guys. Come on. Here, builder or real estate company takes care of common logics and makes the developer or programmer to take care of only application-specific logics. Super. Now listen. This is very important, guys. All MVC frameworks are designed around front controller servlet. That means all operations in MVC framework application takes place with respect to front controller servlet. With respect to front controller servlet. Super. What is front controller servlet? Front controller servlet is like the front controller servlet is like security guard, receptionist in the office, boss. A receptionist in the office. He will trap every person entry, redirects to appropriate room. Yes, na boss. Redirect to appropriate room. Once meeting is over, again traps the exit, and note down when he is leaving. Then it is like a receptionist in the corporate office, boss. Understanding my statement, guys? Super, boss. Super. The front controller takes care of navigation management, guys, action management, view management, model management. Navigation management, action management, view management, model management. Navigation management decides the flow from request to response. From request arrival to response generation, what are the components that should be involved in the execution is decided by navigation management. Next, action management decides the classes should be used for request processing. It decides the classes that should be used for request processing. Yes. It decides the classes which should be used for request processing. Action management, guys. Using which classes the request should be processed, result should be generated. View management decides the JSP or HTML files that should be used for result processing and formatting. And once a request is processed, we will get the output. And using which logic the result should be managed. Result should be formatted is decided by view management. Model management decides how to pass the results or data from Java classes to view component. Decides how to pass results or data from Java classes to view component. And a model means data above. So model management talks about once results are generated, how to pass data. How to pass such data to view components will be decided by model management. It's definitely decided by whom, guys? Model management. Okay, sorry, front controller. Every activity will happen through front controller. Now listen. It's like a director of the movie, guys. Front controller is like director of the movie. Model classes means Java means. Model management means data management. Model means not Java. Model class means Java bean class. Generally, Java bean classes will be taken as model classes. The front controller servlet takes care of navigation management, action management, view management, model management. These are the three important points that we should take care of. Navigation management decides the flow of execution across the multiple components to process the request to generate the response. Action management decides the which Java class should be used for which request for processing the request. View management decides which technology and which name view component should be used to format generate the results after processing the request. After processing the request. Simply after processing the request. Simply after processing the request, guys. Right, boss. Now listen. View management decides which technology and which name view component should be used to format the generated results after processing the request, guys. Okay, let's take one example, Rabab. Let's take one example. I have given a request asking for current weather report. Okay. Navigation management logic of front controller says that request should go through across the which components, which model classes should execute, which view component should execute, which Java classes should execute will be decided by navigation management. In that one, action management says which classes should execute. View management says which classes generated results should be formatted by which JSP components, which view components. Model management says how to pass generated results of Java classes to view components. How to pass generated results of Java components to view components. Everyone clear on this, guys? Got the clarity, boss? So this is my model management, guys. Talks about how to pass data specific to each request from Java classes to view component where results will be formatted. I hope you are understanding. Okay. It's like a director. Which dress to wear, which choreographer should compose the dance, which art director should keep the settings, which cameraman should work, okay, which actor should act, how to act. Everything is controlled by single person called control. What is that? Director or not? Are front controller only 4 departments it is controlling. As a movie director, as a cinema director, he will be controlling 24 crafts. He will be controlling 24 crafts. What do you say, guys? Definitely he will be dealing with the 24 crafts, boss. Definitely he will be controlling what? 24 crafts. What do you say, boss? Are you listening my statement? Next one. Okay. Model classes in MVC applications are Java classes, guys. Java classes. Tell me. Like they are like service classes, DAO classes, Java beans, other classes. Ramo. View components are Servlet JSP components. View components are HTML, JSP, JS component. JS means JavaScript. Controller classes are Servlet component. It is a ready-made Servlet in MVC framework. It's a definitely ready-made framework in MVC one, guys. Okay, let's see the front controller diagram, guys. Front controller diagram. Front controller plus MVC architecture based web application. Based web application. Everyone getting my point? Super. Have a look. Here is my browser. Here is my front controller servlet, which is part of web application. MVC plus front controller web application. Web application. Super guys, this is my browser. Diagrammatic representation. This is my front controller servlet. It is like a director boss. It controls every activity of the application. So here is my action class. Here is my action class. This action class, if needed, talks with what? Service class, where business logic will be there. This will talk to DAO class, where persistence logic will be there. This DAO class, as usually, talks with the database. As usually, talks with the database. Array, action class sometimes contains business logic directly. Sometimes contains, this is my service class, DAO class. Here is my database software. Super, guys. It contains what, guys? Business logic. It contains what, guys? Persistence logic. Here is my database software. Browser gives request. Who traps and takes the request, guys? Front controller. Front controller delegates the request to action class. Action class talks with service class. Service class talks with DAO class. DAO interacts with the database. DAO interacts with the database. Super guys. Back to this guy's service class. Service back to action class, guys. Result, okay. Flow goes to this place. Right. Here what contains, guys? Delegation loss. It takes the request, guys, and passes the request to service and DAO process. Delegation. Super. After that, what next was? It will pass that one to view component. It will pass that one to view component. Nothing but HTML or view, JSP or HTML file. From there, control comes back. Yeah, here presentation logic will be there. What logic, guys? Presentation logic. But finally, formatted results goes to browser. Finally, formatted results goes to browser. This is my request, guys. This is my response. See, guys, everything taking request, delivering response, control. For passing request to appropriate action class, front controller. Passing results to view component. What is that? Front controller. Everything was. Yeah. Request is given. Front controller traps and takes the request. Delegates the request to action class. Goes to service class. Okay. Goes to DAO class. Talks to database software. Comes back to this FG. H. Next I. Again comes back to front controller. J. Okay. Control goes to this place. Results will be formatted. K. Okay. Formatted result comes back to whom? Front controller servlet. L. M. Finally, response goes to browser. Finally, response goes to browser. Yeah. This is controller layer. This falls under controller layer. This falls under controller layer. As of now, action class is having delegation logic, business logic. Delegation logic. So it is also indirectly supporting front controller only. That's why it falls under controller layer. If action class itself contains business logic to process the request, action class comes under model layer. But right now it is not having business logic, boss. Okay, service class found under model layer. Model layer. DAO comes under, guys, model layer. Super. DAO. And this comes under what, guys? View layer. This comes under which layer, guys? View layer. This comes under which layer, guys? View. Convinced, guys? If we place only business logic, in action class, then it is called, then it is called what, guys? Only business logic in action. Model layer component. Model layer component. If we place only delegation logic to interact with service, DAO classes, then it is called, come on, action class. Then it is called action class, boss. Are you understanding my statement, my dear? Got it? Super, boss. Super. Yeah. Thank you, guys. When we meet, we will discuss more on it.